Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Interview. I'm Sean Aylmer. We hear a lot about the gender pay gap and the work being done to slowly close it. But this gap isn't just reflected in salaries and wages, it's perhaps even more pronounced in superannuation, where men are retiring with vastly larger sums than women. Kiran Bhullar is a private client advisor at UniSuper, which is a terrific supporter of this podcast. She joins me in our Melbourne studio. Kiran, welcome to Fear and Greed.
Hi, Sean. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
The gender super pay gap, how big is it? How big an issue is it?
It is quite a significant issue, and it reflects the disparity between average balances in men and women. And women are retiring with almost a quarter less in their super than men. And if you combine that with the fact that women do live longer, it is a significant issue. And it could be a difference between retiring comfortably and just scraping it in. And there's a lot of debate around this, a lot being said, and government are being lobbied. However, there is still a significant amount of work that is required to bridge this. We do find that it starts off quite early as women in their maybe mid-20s and 30s leave workforce to have children. Even at that point, an average, women with same salaries as men could have a super gap of approximately 14%. And
because of the child rearing, because of
as a leave workforce, for caring responsibilities. So it's not just the pay gap. I mean, pay gap is a significant issue. Women in general, the pay gap in Australia is 11.9%, which is $238 a week. So what that means is women are earning less than men, which equates to about $12,800 in a year. And if you consider the impact on superannuation, that's over $1,400 a year less in their superannuation savings per year. Yeah. Now, if you look at that issue, that women do get paid less, and combine that with the fact that women do take time off workforce to have children, and initially in their mid-20s or 30s, this gap in their super could be 14%. However, it compounds over their lifetimes. So if you look at in the 40s, women, when they re-enter workforce, whether in part-time or lower paying jobs, the fact that women are paid less, and when they go back to work, there could be a bit of gap in, them being able to get higher paying jobs in terms of promotion cliff, we call it, or a motherhood penalty. We find women are entering into female-dominated careers, for example, healthcare, and they are overrepresented in lower-paying jobs. So this gap tends to widen in their 40s, and when we see in the 50s, we further see that women, due to various factors such as menopause or caring for elderly or aging family members, they again either go part-time or take time off work. It often defaults to women to take time off work to provide caring, whether it be children or elderly family members, which not only just results in lower contributions in their super, but also ends up manifesting itself in lower compounding returns over their lifetimes, and could be $100,000 less in super for women, which is a significant issue, yes.
Is there something that's gotten any better? I mean, we have spoken about it for a while, and I want to come to potentially what we should be doing about it. But in 2025, has it improved at all in the last decade or so?
There has been a lot of research done. We have seen figures that previously the data that came out in 2015 said it was about 47% less. Now, the latest data we are seeing is probably more promising. And we generally see women are breaking barriers. They're entering occupations. And even in UniSuper, I work in UniSuper, we have 42% of our senior leadership as women. So we have the target of 40% as senior leaders to be women, and we have obviously exceeded that. And 60% of our members are women in the workforce in higher education sector. So we do see women actually are, breaking barriers. They're doing really well. However, there is still this superannuation gap that exists and is quite persistent. And it is a scary number if you think about how it impacts the confidence piece in women, how it impacts their lifestyle and retirement, how it impacts their quality of life, not just in working years, but even in retirement.
Yeah, I mean, I want to come to some of those issues in a moment, but there is a structural issue here in that
Yes.
women give birth, so they have time off. Now, maybe it's more of a social issue about caring for children when they're young or caring for older parents. But is there something we can do so that if women have 12 months off when they give birth, they don't fall behind? I mean, I know the Albanese government has been pushing down that path, but we're a long way from it. What needs to be done?
Yeah, the responsibility isn't just on women. It is almost like if you have a partner, it's a teamwork. You need to start thinking on those lines. What women's partners can do. So you have to start thinking, because there aren't just benefits to women in this.
Yeah.
There are also benefits to the partners. They miss out a lot. If you have a male partner who doesn't spend time with children, it is equally they're missing out. So we are seeing employers are modernizing the paid parental leave policies. I'm really pleased to say the government is starting superannuation from 1 July 2025 on paid parental leave, which is a quick win for women, and it helps in bridging some of that superannuation gap that exists. So there has been work done, but there is a lot that can be done. One of the things which I think as financial advisors we can do is highlight where you can make a difference. So one of the things that we advocate a lot is women to take active participation in financial planning and financial decisions. For them to be involved in decision making, you should both come together and make decisions and be aware of what opportunities are there throughout your working lives. Governments are being lobbied, but change of this nature can take time. What is it that we can do ourselves, and where we can take accountability of some things that we can do in order to bridge the gap and build the difference? For example, if we know that there is this issue that may take years to be resolved, or we have equity in this. So what can we do? If I have a daughter and she's entering workforce, and I can educate her to make a difference and start thinking about the fact that women are likely to have career breaks, what can she do? If she was to save and put $50 aside in her superannuation a week, what does that mean? So someone starting out today in their mid-20s, and they have 40 years of working life ahead of them, $50 a week could be over $1.1 million if you consider 7% compounding interest. If you're in your mid-30s, never too late, it's $560,000. The fact that you can invest and take a bit more proactive approach, investment earnings and compounding returns can make a huge difference. So 7% return compared to 6% return can actually make a huge difference in the quality of life you're going to have in retirement.
Something you mentioned a moment ago, financial confidence. What about the non-monetary impacts of the pay gap, the gender pay gap in superannuation? I kind of get that financial confidence, because if you don't have as much money, you just don't have the confidence necessarily.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in a situation. Money makes things happen. It is a sense of control you can have, what quality of life you're going to have. It's financial planning isn't just about money. It is about your dreams. It is about your goals. It is about what you envisage, what type of life you're going to have. We have a lot of research and data on domestic violence issues, how women feel they're stuck in a position. I mean, you want to have ability to make the difference and have the control in your hands. And that those issues, I guess, are something that we find women struggle a lot. We see that women take career breaks, and then comes a time where there's either divorce or separation and they're left. There's a lot being said about single women are the highest risk at poverty, older women. That is a shocking statistic. And in my 20 years in financial planning, I have worked with a lot of strong, independent women who have done fantastic in their careers. But at the same time, I have worked with women who don't have ability to know there's a lot of uncertainty. Their confidence in the quality of life they're going to have is shaken. It is eroded just because they don't understand what they need and that confidence piece.
We are out of time, but it's kind of wrapping it up, Kiran, in a sense, there is progress being made, but there's plenty more to make if we are to narrow this gender pay gap in superannuation.
Absolutely. There are a lot of steps one can do to narrow. I guess one tip would be to be aware of your current position, be aware of your cash flow, and take more control, more proactive, more intentional control of your ability to save and invest. Women need to feel confident about their future. And money is a part of it, but it will make it happen for you. So you need to take a bit more charge. And in case you don't know how to, there is help available. Come and see us, come and see your super fund. They might be advice on simple topics like investments or contributions, which can help you gain clarity on the lifestyle that you can have.
Kiran, thank you very much for talking to Fear and Greed.
Thanks, Sean.
That was Kiran Bhullar, Private Client Advisor at UniSuper. This is the Fear and Greed Business Interview. Join us every morning for the full episode of Fear and Greed, business news for people who make their own decisions. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.